Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning for another episode of Breakfast Stream. How you guys doing? It is a pretty beautiful morning here. Sun is out. It's not gloomy. It's almost like that we didn't just go through a hurricane. Almost.
Except a couple miles up the road.
There's some nice reminders of that elsewhere, but right here in this little nook of the world, things are pretty nice. So how's everyone doing this fine Thursday morning?
Thursday.
It is not Tuesday now.
Mm-mm. Hi, Sakes. You want coffee?
Raining in Michigan? Raining in Michigan. Two different people almost right next to each other said it's raining in Michigan. Yeah, I'm back to toast this morning. And the reason for that is this bread...
It's going bad.
Yeah, this bread expired yesterday. So I was like, oh, I just got the milk. Milk's gonna last a while. The bread's going bad, so I should probably eat the bread. But I'm gonna be back on that cereal train like real soon. Raining in Philly, cloudy in Wisconsin, cloudy in New York. The weather is all right in Cali. Early in Cali. Thank you to all of our West Coast people for joining us. And I guess in certainly other parts of the world too, because it's like night in other parts. I saw a few folks going by in the chat and said good evening. Sunny in my part of Germany. It's nice to it's really nice to have viewers from literally everywhere.
Nikki's here.
Oh, Nikki's here also? Sunny and Myrtle. Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. Yeah, it's nice to have people from everywhere. It's a nice little conglomerate of folks. So, you joined us Tuesday. We spent a lot of Tuesday talking about our evacuation, or return from evacuation. I was happy to report that our place got through relatively unharmed, which was nice. We contacted the landlord about the roof, because we've had a few neighbors say, like, that roof though. So, she lives in Florida, so she's going to come up at some point when she can get here, because things are still a little hard to travel around here, but when she can, she's going to come up and take a look at everything. But, our place came through relatively unscathed. All of our friends, their places did well. That being said, there's a lot of flooding in the area.
A lot.
Like a lot. There's a lot of homes that are going to end up being destroyed, and it's not from the hurricane itself, it's from the river flooding. So that's like this huge new issue, where the hurricane's gone and the rivers are, like one of our primary rivers in the area is the Waccamaw, and the Waccamaw River is reaching a historic new high by a lot. Like
the last record was 2 years ago for Hurricane Matthew.
And it was 18 feet.
Yeah.
Basically.
And this is looking to crest at 24?
24. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's not only breaking the record, it's blowing it away. And
the record was only set 2 years ago?
Yeah. So, like, that's not great. So all that water has to have someplace to go, and it's spilling out into places. Fortunately, in our specific neighborhood, we're going to be okay, just based on the flood maps and stuff. But there are neighborhoods like right next to ours that they're in deep doo-doo. And in some other neighborhoods, like the buildings themselves will be okay, but they're going to be trapped. Like the water is going to affect the roads where they might be trapped in the neighborhood for a week or more. So they've started to evacuate those neighborhoods. So that's
also, like, the rivers are pushing the bridges up, even though they're concrete. Like, the river's flowing so fast, it's pushing the bridges up and not, like, setting them back down on their supports. So they may have to build some of our main bridges from scratch. Like, the one we take to our post office is, like, underwater right now.
Right now, we cannot even get to our post office. It is impossible. So, it's one of those things, like, we haven't recorded the August mail yet. We have to do that after September 15th. So, we'll be doing that soon. Mm-hmm. But, like, if anyone sent mail in September... We checked mail about a week ago. And I do not know when we'll be able to check it next. I'm hoping this time next week we'll be able to, get to it. So that's the hope. And we'll see what happens. Because that entire road is just flooded. There's no way to get to it. So maybe the water will have receded in a week and we'll be able to actually check mail. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't want to spend a ton of time talking about the hurricane because I know it's kind of enveloped our entire lives for like 2 weeks. But wanted to give at least a little update about that because, even though the hurricane itself is gone, we're dealing with the remnants of it. And, for some people, it's going to be a bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very bad, which is, unfortunate.
This is the mug I got on the day we went to the aquarium with a meal. It's a Dunkin' Donuts mug. I didn't get it at the aquarium. I got it on the way. And I really like the shape of it.
Mal loves
I
this
love neat mugs. Like, I don't know. I really like it. And it's a travel mug, so it has a lid. And, like, it's a little glittery, but you probably can't tell in camera because it's hard to tell in person even.
It's a cool mug.
It is a cool mug.
You know what else is a cool mug? I'm gonna try and get better at this. Hold on, let me use my left hand.
Hello, Cappy.
I am not ambidextrous at all.
Hi, honey. You're a good boy.
Look at this. Check out this amazing product placement.
Kepler?
As I balance, I have to hold coffee and this toast, which Kepler apparently wants to consume. Thank you, Wembler. Wembler right on cue. You can pick up your own Let's Meet Back Tomorrow mug at StephenShop.com. Check me out. I'm a corporate shill. Except I'm also the corporation. I'm a shill for myself.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, buddy. Would you like to take a sit?
No, he wants your toast.
I think it's actually funny that we made that mug a while ago. Like, probably at this point almost a year ago. And like a year ago, we had talked about doing like some streaming stuff, but the idea for breakfast streams specifically had not come together. And now more than ever, that's like the most fitting product for this thing. It's just really funny how it worked out.
Can I also buy my own Kepi? I wish we could clone Kepi.
No, I mean, you technically could.
Yeah.
But no, there can be only one. He's a good boy. He's good. He's seriously one of the most loving animals I've ever met. I mean, he just... And even more so than Sagan.
Yeah.
He's a sweet boy. So we're going to be talking about a few things today on Breakfast Stream. Some of which you guys will decide. But one thing I do want to talk about, because I'm mildly excited for it. Like, not extremely excited, but I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad that it's, an official thing. And it looks like they're going to be doing this some justice, depending on the games in it. Did you guys see the announcement yesterday for the PlayStation 1 Classic? I don't know if you guys saw that or not. If you didn't, I've used my...
Sorry. Travel mugs keep things hot, and it burnt my tongue.
I'm sorry. If you haven't seen it, I have got... I'm really, prepared today. I've got an image. Check this out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you haven't seen it, this is the PlayStation Classic. And it's tiny. It's basically the same concept as the
NES Classic?
The NES Classic and the Super NES Classic. Yeah. The reason I'm less excited is because when they announced the NES Classic, I was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. You know, they've done that before with other systems, you know, Atari type things. But to see them do it with the NES was neat and official, and I liked the UI and everything. So it was well done. When they did the Super NES, I was super excited because that's my favorite console. So this is kind of like back to the same level of excitement as the NES Classic. That's a picture of it in the hand. I also have a picture of the box. So that's it's very reminiscent of
look at you.
the original box. And then I also have a picture of the size difference.
Look at you.
I know. People, well, look at me is funny because they can't. Anyway, this is the size difference between the original and the Classic. So it's a much smaller thing, but it's the same idea. It's the same idea. They've announced 4 or 5 games. Final Fantasy VII, obviously. Tekken 3, a Ridge Racer game, something else, and then Jumping Flash. Jumping Flash was an interesting choice. I'm super glad Jumping Flash is on there. If you've never played Jumping Flash, it's like, it's hard to explain, but it made a big splash when it appeared, because it's like, I think it actually might be branded as like one of the world's first 3D platformers, or first-person 3D platformers or something. It hasn't aged great, but it's still a legit fun game, and I can remember standing in a like a department store like JCPenney or Belk's or some Sears or something back in the day and playing this game and it blowing my mind. So Jumping Flash is super cool. It was actually, Jumping Flash is one of the games I've been trying to get a hold of. And there's Jumping Flash and Jumping Flash 2, and we did get one of them, and now I don't remember which one we got. But I told myself when I got both of them, I'd do like a joint first 20, or now that we're doing streaming, I might do a stream on the Jumping Flash games, because they're really bizarre, and they're good. You play as like a mechanical rabbit or something, but it's first person, and you're like jumping through things. And if you're thinking, first person 3D platformer sounds really hard, yeah, it is. It's really hard. Anyway, so I want to know what other games from that era do you guys want to see on that? And I was talking to Roland at Player's Choice yesterday about this. And the thing that's so interesting is that, like with the Nintendo Classic and the Super NES Classic, Nintendo can just use a lot of their games. The Sony, the PlayStation Classic is a lot different, because a lot of the greats like were not Sony games, so like they have to license out a lot of those titles. The other thing is, I didn't grow up with a PlayStation. My first introduction to the Sony world was PlayStation 2. I got a PlayStation 2 whenever I was 14, maybe 13, 14. So I could play like Final Fantasy X, and I wanted to play Dragon Ball Z Budokai. So that was my reason. But I've been looking at some of the chat here. There's some amazingly good choices. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro are like obvious ones. Someone said Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. That's a great one. Resident Evil is a great one. The original Tony Hawk is good too. I don't know if that one would be on there, because they'd have to like probably like relicense the music. You can't play the original Tony Hawk without the tunes. Like, you can't. And I don't know if they'd be able to do that. Symphony of the Night. Yeah, I mean, they said there's going to be 20 games. Pepsi Man. I wish. They said there's going to be 20 games, and they've announced 5, so... Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. And that's the other thing to consider, like, when we're talking about games, should there be the original? Or if the sequel is better, should they just do the sequel? And I don't know. Did you play? I mean, you didn't have a PS1, did you?
No.
So you... what's your experience with that console?
None.
Oh, really? None at all? You didn't have any friends that had it?
My cousins had it, like Ryan and Justin.
Oh.
But I only ever got to play it once, and it was Crash Bandicoot.
Oh. See, I had friends that had it because I had all the Nintendo stuff as a kid, and I had friends in the neighborhood actually that had a PlayStation 1.
I was the only one that had anything Sony with a PlayStation 2. Because, like, Nicole had Xbox and Genesis, and Stephanie had all Nintendo. Lindsay had an N64. And that was kind of it.
I remember going over. I had a friend in the neighborhood named Chris, and I went over. I played Gex. Someone mentioned Gex. I played Gex over there. Actually, if I remember correctly, I first played Gex over there, and then I bought it for N64. And I'm pretty sure it's slightly different. There's actually some differences between those games. But I played Legacy of Kain over there. I played the first Grand Theft Auto over there, which was mind-blowing. And then Jarrett had bought Grand Theft Auto 2 on a trip once, and we played that. Grand Theft Auto 2 would actually be a good choice, I think, maybe for the PlayStation Classic. That's a fun game. Like, I understand that everyone that's played the GTA games these days has grown up with, like, the 3D games. Don't get me wrong, GTA 5 is one of my favorite games ever. But I really, really love Grand Theft Auto 2. It's, not only is it, do I enjoy the top-down view? Because I know that that's not everyone's favorite thing, and it's hard to control because you can't see very far in front of you when you're driving fast. But not only do I enjoy that, there's a gang system in Grand Theft Auto 2 that I think would be really fun if they adapted to a modern GTA game, where, like, you have different gangs and if you do stuff, there's actually, like, meters on the screen about the gangs, and if you go into one gang's territory and you start shooting them up, like, your respect with them goes down, but one of the other gangs, it goes up. And I think there's 3 gangs or something like that. Anyway, the other advantage is I don't know if they would try to avoid M-rated games, but if they wanted to avoid M-rated games, GTA 2 is actually rated T. I mean, or at least it was in 97 or whatever, so I don't know. Whenever I was talking with Roland, we were talking about the N64 Classic and how they already have the trademark for that, and what games they would put on there. And it's obviously a lot easier to pick those out because there's a ton of good quality Nintendo games on the N64. Probably some of the best games for the N64 are Nintendo, first party games. So those are a little more obvious, but it's hard to figure out the stuff for the PlayStation.
How's the raspberry jam?
It's good. This is a different jam.
Yeah.
I was eating strawberry, but it was in the fridge, and the fridge went bad because we lost power. So, using raspberry today. It's good.
We also have apple and apple butter. Do you not like apple butter?
I've never had apple butter.
It would be a good time to try it. Breakfast stream. Live here. Put it on 1 next time.
Okay.
Try it. It's in the fridge. It's brand new.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I hope I like it. If I didn't like it, I would just, not.
Everyone's saying apple butter is the best.
I've never had it.
On Tuesday.
Maybe on Tuesday, if I remember, I'll have it. Apple butter is good, but it is so rich. Oh, see, that's a turnoff.
You don't put it on. You put it on that thick.
Okay.
It's fine. You will be fine. Just put it on 1, and then if you don't like it, you have another piece of toast.
All right. I don't like my jam thick. I know I've talked probably a little about that before, but like, I'm not big into that. I want it thin. If it's a peanut butter though, that can be thick. I don't want to choke it down. That's fine. I'm alright with that. Now, if we get an N64 Classic,
Uh-huh.
I don't think it'll be this year.
Okay.
just because I don't know if Nintendo wants to compete with the PlayStation Classic. Also, we're getting a Genesis Classic for sure in 2019. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. But if we get an N64 Classic, what's like some of the games that you would definitely want on there?
I mean,
having done 2 N64 Extra Life streams.
I mean, we have Mario Kart for a lot of things. Like, I don't feel like it's difficult to get a hold of a Mario Kart.
You know Mario Kart is going to be on there.
I know, but I'm saying Mario Kart's going to be on there. One of the Mario parties, but probably not the first one.
It's not going to be the first one.
No. Paper Mario will be on there. What else would be on there?
I mean...
Yeah, Pokemon Stadium would be on there.
There are some games that, without a doubt, would be on there. Mm-hmm. Super Mario 64 will absolutely be on there. Mario Kart 64 will absolutely be on there. Because of that, I don't know if they'd put Diddy Kong Racing. You know, because someone in the chat had said Diddy Kong Racing. Killer Cow said Diddy Kong Racing. And that's the thing. How many racing games are you going to put on there? You know, the PlayStation Classic has Ridge Racer, and that will be the racing game. There's probably not going to be a second racing game on that.
Yeah, people are saying the Zelda games. Yeah, Zelda games.
Yeah, that's the thing though. They probably will put both Ocarina and Majora on there because that's the Nintendo 64. Majora is a lot of people's favorite game ever. So
Yoshi's Story. Yep.
Yoshi's Story.
Pokemon Snap.
Chicken's just posted a huge list.
Yeah, everything on that list is excellent.
That's a pretty good list. It's a pretty good list. There's actually a lot of racing games that are quality games. F-Zero, Wave Race, Diddy Kong, Mario Kart. Those are all good games, but like there's not going to be more than like 25 games on that N64 Classic. GoldenEye is a good choice, but GoldenEye excels at, I mean, it's not that the single player is not fun, but the multiplayer is what people remember. Are they going to ship it with 2 controllers and make you buy 2 more? They're not going to ship it with 4 controllers. No. There's no way. No. I wouldn't. Earthbound 64? Sure. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
Because they did that with Star Fox 2.
I know, but Star Fox 2 was done.
Well, there was a lot of Earthbound 64 done.
I don't think there was that much
So
done.
Nintendo's been quiet for years and years and years. And they've gotten a hold of the blue discs. They've finished Earthbound 64, and tee-hee, it's a big joke. We're releasing it with the N64 Classic.
I don't think so.
I think my brain would explode.
Yeah.
But also, they're not capable of all of that. That's just... Although they certainly would sell some systems.
Yeah, they would.
I'd buy like 10. Pokemon Snap. Yeah, so here's my point talking about the licensing thing earlier. Like, when you start talking about the quality games for N64 Classic, you could probably get 25 games that deserve to be on that system, and they're all first-party Nintendo titles. Mm-hmm. Compared to the Sony, the PlayStation Classic, where it's just not going to be that way. Oh, Tomb Raider. You gotta have Tomb Raider on the PlayStation Classic. Yeah. I think Tomb Raider is like definitive PlayStation era, in my opinion.
Just released Mother 3 as Earthbound 64. Yeah.
So, anyway, there's a lot of possibility. And, because I know someone's going to ask, we ordered a PlayStation Classic. So, you can expect us to go through the games on the PlayStation Classic in the same way that we did
the NES and the SNES Classic?
The NES and the SNES Classic. So, that doesn't ship until December. December's going to be busy.
Yeah. Because
that's when Smash comes out, and we have a ton of Smash content planned. We don't even know how much Smash content is planned because we don't know if there's a story mode.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing Co-op Classic with all the characters regardless. If there's a story mode, we're going to be covering that too. So, if you like Smash, cool. Stephen Plays is going to be where you want to stay because we're going to have a ton of Smash content.
You know what I'm playing in 2019?
The Genesis Classic?
No. Well, yeah, but...
What's that?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But for like, we don't even know when that's going to come out.
Next year.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, it could be the end of the next year. Anyway, lots of Smash. We'll figure out how we're going to release the PlayStation Classic stuff, because I don't know. We'll see. We might stream it. I don't know. We might stream it and then release that the VOD content onto Stephen Plays. But that's coming at some point, because we did pre-order it, and I would love to do the Genesis one too. I love these little classic console ideas. I really do, and they're cute. They're really cute. One of the cool things about the NES and Super NES Classic is that even when you're not using them, you can just like put them on a desk, man. Are super cute. I really like them.
I want the Kepi.
He chose me.
I know, and Sagan's sitting in the sun, so there's no way he's giving that up.
Oh. Scooby Cool says, my third timeline senses are tingling.
No.
No. No, they're not. That's just indigestion. The vlogs have been obviously a little behind. We had like to evacuate. But I released a vlog yesterday. I have one already set for today, and I'm going to be working on some more today. The next vlog that comes out is our trip. Well, the one that's already done is us going to the arcade. You
have 2 done then. No, never mind. Sorry, I forgot you released the one. You released one, then it's the arcade, and you're working on the aquarium.
Yeah, the arcade one comes out today. That one's finished, but it's not out yet. I'm working on the aquarium one today, and that might also be out today, or it'll be out tomorrow. And the aquarium is I shot over an hour of footage at the aquarium. It was just awesome.
How could you not? The Georgia Aquarium is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. It was a great experience, and I shot a lot of footage, so it's going to take a while to do. Mm-hmm. And actually,
the best part was your parents.
Yeah,
they were
just
so
watching
excited. It was
their
really
experience.
good.
And also, we actually got to go to the aquarium courtesy of one of our viewers, Quinn, who's actually in the chat. So Quinn, thank you so much for giving those tickets, because the aquarium was an incredible experience. It was just phenomenal, and I've been to several aquariums. Mm-hmm. I've been to the Shed.
Yeah,
the Shed is
Chicago.
also phenomenal too.
Yeah,
like seriously, really, really fantastic. But it's just, if you're ever in the Atlanta area, it's absolutely worth going, for sure. As we get near the end of this stream, before I forget, I'm going to roll the Patreon ticker. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. The names of the producers are scrolling along the bottom of the screen now. If you'd like to learn more, go to patreon.com/StephenGeorge or patreon.com/Melmakes. Again, Wembler is on the ball. It's crazy.
It's really early for Wembler too.
Yeah, Wembler is West Coast, and that's early. That's like at least 3 hours earlier. Maybe more.
We can't know.
We can't know for certain because it's too far away.
Oh, Brooke is here. Hi, Brooke. It's been a long time since we've seen you.
Brooke! It's
And we
also
were on-
early for Brooke.
Yeah, we were on Josh's case about you guys visiting us, but I understand you have a lot going on.
It's true.
Because they moved, and oh my gosh.
When we were visiting Emil just this past weekend, we told him, we said, it's been too long since you've been to Myrtle Beach, so we gotta change that.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly when we're gonna change
Well,
that.
maybe he'll come here for Christmas time.
Yeah, because we visited him last January. Maybe this January, like, he'll come visit us as a change up. That would be nice to get him back here. And he's never actually seen this place, and I don't know how much longer we'll live here. We don't know. I mean, it's gonna be for like a little bit, but we do want to actively get out of this place. So we'll see. Next year is, I think we're gonna start that process of seeing if it's possible to get out of this spot again. But when we look for a place, it'll absolutely be with the idea in mind of there are natural disasters. We should...
I've been researching hurricane shutters.
We should purchase a place accordingly, basically. Anyway, we are at time.
Already?
We are at time. I tell you, I honest to God, these breakfast streams fly by. They really have. This is like, I think, the 6th one or so that we've done, and every time it's like the fastest 30 minutes ever. The other thing that I'm really proud of and happy about is that the average viewer time for these is 30 minutes, meaning that when people show up, they stay for the whole thing. They're not in and out. Like, the average viewer time is the entire thing, which means people are showing up and they want to watch it all and they spend their morning with us. And I really appreciate that. This is a weird idea. This is not something people do. People stream video games in the evening. We're streaming toast in the morning, and that's not really, I think, the ideal Twitch situation, but I think it's fun, and apparently you guys do also, so thanks for joining us. And again, we will be here on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., so hopefully you'll get a chance to join us there as well. And there's going to be a vlog out today, so make sure you check that out. And if I can, I will try and get that Aquarium vlog out today too. But if not, it should be out tomorrow. And it's going to be great. There's some amazing footage that I was able to get. So I'm really excited to show everyone. All right, folks. I hope that you have a wonderful Thursday. And I will see you Tuesday morning at 9 a.m.